What's up guys, it's your boy the BFA Games here, and welcome to an interesting video where we are going to go back into memory lane and have a look at FIFA 21. As you can tell, all of us are getting bored of the current EFC 24, so we might as well just explore any of the previous FIFAs that we had and have some fun before EFC 25 comes out. This wasn't the most memorable FIFA, but it was the FIFA which was between the two gens of when we saw the transition between PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 5. So as a result, there were obviously two versions. This is the PC version. So what we plan to do for this video is we're going to simulate all the way from 2021 to the summer of 2024. And we're going to see what kind of transfers that there are, what kind of teams are successful, where all the teams are at, where all the league standings are, etc. And seeing how they relate to real life. How do they compare to real life, compared to this simulation? Alright, let's get on with this video. Alright, so I decided to be the team of Hibernian in the Scottish League, simply because I just want to be out of the way of all the major teams, so it can be the most objective as possible. I don't really want my simulations to influence the outcome of the major leagues after the simulation, so it's best if I'm this team. Alright, let's sim to 2024. Alright, we're now in 2024. Let's see where all the teams are at now. Alright, so let's start with the Premier League, and we can clearly see Manchester City obviously won the league for like the umpteenth time continuously. But the shock is that Spurs are there, but I assume that maybe Harry Kane is there still, so that's probably why they're performing. One shock to the system though is that Leicester City are there. We're in 5th place. But then I remember in this FIFA, a lot of players were highly rated, and I think they're pretty successful the season before. So that's no surprise really. Other than that, teams you would expect were pretty much there, with the likes of Arsenal, Man United and Newcastle. But I'm mostly basing it on the teams they had at the time as well. So you have to bear that in mind. Alright, surprise you, PSG at the top of Ligue 1. We have Olympique Lyon and Marseille following behind them. Rennes and Nice, Monaco. Not really surprising, probably the most predictable Ligue 1 standings that you'll pretty much see. And you can pretty much say the same thing about the Bundesliga. Bayern obviously number 1, obliterated every team. Dortmund is also coming at 2nd, RB Leipzig. There's nothing that's really that surprising. Then you have Bayer Leverkusen, who are only at 5th place. I guess that's the only thing to really talk about. I mean, in 2021, how could you predict that the likes of Xavi Alonso, basically a coaching prodigy, was going to coach Leverkusen, a team like Leverkusen, to number 1 and going unbeaten? So you can't really judge them too much in this prediction. Alright, now we go to the Serie A, and you can clearly see Juventus dominated. They almost went unbeaten, only losing 1 match. And Inter became 2nd, Roma, and then the Lazio were 4th, Napoli. The only slight shock is Juventus, I guess, simply because no one predicted their demise. They were still at the top around 2021. AC Milan actually had a pretty mediocre, poor season. But again, this personnel that they had during this FIFA wasn't that great. So you can kind of clearly see the correlation right there. Then let's check out the smaller leagues. Eredivisie, Ajax obliterated the league, more than 10 points ahead, 85 points. PSV 2nd, AZ Alkmaar pretty much the most predictable one there, even though despite that Ajax have regressed since 2021. Now we go to La Liga, and pretty much it's just Real Madrid, Barcelona, Atletico Madrid pretty much every single year. It will be a shock if one of those 3 is not in the top 3. But another interesting thing about this league is that obviously there's no Girona in this league. I think they're in the 2nd division at the moment, because I mean, who predicted the rise that this team was about to have? Now they're playing in the Champions League. It's crazy how quickly a team can rise to the top in a short space of time. It's crazy. Yeah, if you have a look at the Turkish Super League, obviously Besiktas is number 1, dominated, but Besiktas is actually ahead of the likes of Galatasaray and Fenerbahce, which is pretty interesting. But again, all the big names are in the top 5, and everything else is below it. Alright, so let's check out the European competitions. So obviously Atletico Madrid ended up beating Spurs. Spurs were this close to winning their first trophy. I wonder how Harry Kane feels. Wow, Spurs almost won the Champions League. They just lost 1-0 narrowly to Barcelona. How good is this Tottenham team then? Jesus. And then their ops, my team, Arsenal, ended up winning the Europa League, of course. against Sevilla as well. Pretty much the Europa League GOATs as well. That's a good achievement. All right, guys. So we're now gonna check how good all of these major teams are, and we'll check out the squads. All right. So they got the likes of Acuna, Dominic Calvert-Lewin's up top. Interesting. Okay, Joe Gomez, Emerson, Adnan Januzaj from back in the day is there. Former United wonder kid. Then we got Big Rom Lukaku, alternate universe, didn't go Chelsea instead. All right, let's check out Chelsea's team. Interesting. All right, so they got Ben Yedder up top, ultimate team hero, and also Nabil Fekir as well. And they're still going to Atletico. Conor Gallagher still at Chelsea, and then they've got a 93 rated Kai Havertz. Basically, when all the hype was around him after him, pretty much. I think this season in 2021 they won the Champions League. He scored that Champions League goal, so obviously all the hype was around him. Okay, they got Lucas Hernandez as well, 87 rated. They also got Callum Hudson-Odoi, and they got an 86 rated Kepa Arrizabalaga, the most stubborn player ever. It's crazy now he actually plays for Bournemouth in real life. Never thought that transfer was gonna happen. Oh my days, guys. Yo, do you remember Victor Moses? Victor Moses, you know, Chelsea legend under Antonio Conte, bro. I can't believe he's still at Chelsea. Oh my days as well. Who remembers this guy? Lucas Piazon. I swear, he didn't even play a single minute for Chelsea at all, and he was there for like 10 years. Just loaned out season after season. Alright, they got Captain American Christian Pulisic, 87 rated. Still bossing it at AC Milan, so I can't really complain. Man, if only they kept this guy in their back four. And he's only 83 rated. He's in like 87 or 80 whatever. Like a very high rated in the new EAFC 25 game. Then they also got pace merchant Adama Traore, and he was kind of overhyped as well around this time. And then last but not least, they have Marco van Ginkel. He's also one of those wonder kids that was never used for Chelsea, and he was loaned out continuously. It's crazy how many players were just basically used from Chelsea's kind of. That's why they have like 100 players in their ranks, literally. All right, Leicester City actually did well, so let's see what players they have. Oh my days, they have 36-year-old Sergio Aguero. He hasn't retired yet, and he's playing for Leicester City. No wonder they're performing extremely well. It's crazy the talent they have. I know he's 81 rated, but I don't care. This is Sergio Aguero that we're talking about. Probably the craziest transfer probably we've seen so far in this video. But yeah, that's crazy, man. Oh wow, they're also able to sign Marcos Llorente as well. And they have an 88 rated Wilfred Ndidi. Super highly talented and rated back then. And an 87 Ruben Neves. Okay, we can kind of see why they're pretty successful. They have a stacked midfield. Just when I said that, they have Danny Parejo as well. Right, I see Liverpool. Okay, so they have Hector Bellerin. And they have a young Jude Bellingham. Well, 20-year-old Jude Bellingham. Leon Goretzka as well. They've got extremely all-rounded. Antoine Griezmann still 86 rated. Still highly rated now in real life. Gabby Jesus, 87 rated. Jordan Henderson still there. Of course, the legend Sadio Mane, 89 rated, is still there. Didn't go to Saudi instead. Opted to stay and win more trophies. And then they've still got an 88 rated Rafael Varane. He opted to go to the better side, Liverpool instead of Man United. Alright, let's check out Man City. So they've got pretty much two of the best fullbacks in world football. Dani Carvajal and Joao Cancelo. Of course, De Bruyne is still there. 91 rated at 32. Pretty much how he is in real life. But interesting, they got an 82 rated Robert Lewandowski, which looking back, they've underrated old players now because he's like still high in his high 80s overall at the same age in real life. Ex-convict Benjamin Mendy still there, 84 rated. Can't really make the jokes now because he was proven guilty, so it's a kind of an unfortunate situation for him. Of course, Cole Palmer still at Manchester City in the reserves, simply because no one knew how good he was going to be at this time. Alright, we got 90 rated Raheem Sterling. Everyone thought he was going to be just killing it still at this time. And I think he had one of his best seasons around this time for Manchester City in real life, around 2021. So that's why everyone thinks he's going to be a world beater. That hasn't really happened. He's now a second choice squad player at Arsenal. But one player that did live up to the hype is Federico Valverde at 90 rated. unbelievable midfielder Manchester City have got. Okay, so now we've got Edson Cavani, 37, 75 overall. No pace, but can still finish, got finishing ability. They've got Jonathan David, 87 rated as well. They always would sign Jonathan David in this FIFA, I remember. Of course, the prime David De Gea is still there. Estupian is actually there. They got Leandro Dondonka now, who was a little bit hyped back then. And they got a crazy backup with Dean Henderson at 85 rated. That's when he was a little bit hyped back then too. Now I think he's at Crystal Palace in real life. And my God, guys, they still got Phil Jones, the absolute icon legend. I think he's retired in real life, has he? I'm not entirely sure. Oh yeah, and they still got basically the Welsh Theo Walcott, Dan James, just pace, and that was it, literally nothing else. But they got a prime Eder Militao, super signing for them. And wow, and this saved Marcus Rashford's 91 rated, unbelievable looking card. But it's so sad to see where he's at now, and he's not really living up to the hype, and he's kind of like he's given up at this rate. They've got Marco Reus, 83 rated, still killing it for Dortmund in real life, still quality player. Alright, let's check out why Tottenham are so good. Okay, so they've got Dele Alli, 87 rated. It's kind of really sad that he never lived up to the hype. He never lived up to his potential. He's kind of rotting away in the reserves at Everton, or is he another club? I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, he claims he wants to get to the 2026 World Cup. We'll see about that. Okay, they've got Matt Hummels as well, Koulibaly, some quality defenders, Joshua Kimmich as well. Some seasoned professionals that they got right here. Hugo Lloris, they got Victor Osimhen, 87 rated. Maybe he's the main striker instead of Harry Kane. I'm not sure if Harry Kane is still there, but there's over 85 rated Benjamin Pavard, very highly rated. I think he's the same rating in real life at Inter Milan. And they also got Deo Upamecano. The centre backs are stacked in this team. It's crazy. All right, let's check out the Bundesliga. Bayern Munich. Okay, cool. They got Karim Adeyemi. He's gone to Bayern instead of Dortmund, the alternative universe. Our old Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang still looks somewhat usable at 82 rated. And then they got Sergio Busquets. A little bit of a weird signing, but still works. Then I have Ciro Immobile, who, for some reason this FIFA, I remember him just seeing him at Bayern all the time in these career modes. So weird. So random. And then we've got the one and only N'Golo Kante, 88 rated. Unbelievable rating. Unreal player. And brilliant guy. But strangely enough, they got Brighton forward, João Pedro, who I think was a wonder kid back in this FIFA. So I can see why he was there in this save. And they got recent retiree Toni Kroos, 86 overall. He's gone back home to where it all began. The club that kind of disrespected him, to be honest, before he went to Real Madrid. And they got an 88 overall Richarlison, who is nowhere near that at Tottenham. And he's just kind of in the bench, just vibing, to be honest. Bayer Leverkusen at the top right now in real life. Let's see how they're doing in this save. That's interesting. They got Andrea Boletti, who was hyped a few years back before 2021. They got 35-year-old Jerome Boateng, who literally was that guy back in like the early to mid 2010s. He was one of the best centre backs in the world. Wow, look at this signing. They got Phil Foden, 87 rated. I don't know how they pulled this off. Of all teams, you'd never think he would go to Bayer Leverkusen, even though even this Bayer Leverkusen side in real life, I don't think would ever be able to get someone like Phil Foden. So this is one of the most random, crazy signings, but fair play to Bayern. And also they got an 87 rated Mason Mount, which again, back then he was just overhyped with the Chelsea hype and everything and the Champions League hype. It's crazy how he's 87 rated and he's not doing anything now for Manchester United. Alright, let's check out Borussia Mönchengladbach. Alright, so they got Nathan Ake in the squad. Not too bad. Oh man, I see they got Keenan Bennett. Okay, most of you guys won't really know who he is, but personally, I know who this guy is. He used to go to my secondary school, and you can see he's making it as a footballer, so I gotta give props to him. But look at this, they got Ruben Loftus-Cheek at 83 overall. And then interesting, they've got a Manchester United duo of Scott McTominay, 84 rated, And then they've got Harry Maguire, who was at 85 overall as well. So it's just really random signings that you would just never imagine, like in a million years. And just when I mentioned these two, Luke Shaw is in this Mönchengladbach side as well. So we just got the United band together again, playing in the Bundesliga, and they're like the ones that everybody likes to troll as well. All right, let's check out RB Leipzig. They got the likes of David Alaba. That's a really good signing for them to come back to the Bundesliga like that. They've got Atal, 85 overall. They've got David Brooks at 83 overall. He was a little bit hyped back then. They've got Yusuf El Nasiri. They got Tafusa Kubo. Interesting, they got one of the biggest signings, Rafael Leao, who's actually there instead of AC Milan. He's only 83 overall, so he was a little bit underrated back then. They also got Nassim Masraoui as well, 83 overall. So many of these players are 83 overall, I don't know why. Okay, and they got Bayern legend Thomas Muller as well. And of course, an 87 Dani Olmo, who's too good for this team, too good for this club, should be playing at Barcelona. Then just when I said that, they've got Marco Verratti as an 86 overall midfielder. Probably the most random signing I've probably seen in this video. And also they've got Zinchenko as well, who I could actually see him at this club, to be honest. Alright, let's check out Borussia Dortmund. So Houssem Aouar, 89 overall at Borussia Dortmund. Do you remember the hype around this guy? He was literally meant to be the next Zidane. He's fallen off a cliff in real life. And they got Mr. Bad Boy Mario Icardi. He's now more famous for his scandals than his actual footballing ability, but he's a decent striker nonetheless. Then of course we've got Erling Haaland, the best striker, arguably the best striker in the world. He's just scoring goals for fun in the Premier League, 92 overall, well deserved. Probably should have that in real life in FIFA, to be honest. He's that good at scoring goals. And then just when I spoke about Mario Icardi before, we have a genuine bad boy, Quincy Promise, drug dealer, who I think is in prison at the moment. I'm not entirely sure. It's funny how like literally football is a side gig for this guy as well. He wants to be a rapper as well. And then now we've got Jadon Sancho still there. I think he should have just stayed at Dortmund last season, but we'll see how he does for Chelsea. 93 overall, still unreal before he went to Manchester United and almost ruined it. Alright, let's just check out the La Liga clubs and we'll look at Barcelona. Oh yeah guys, do you remember Martin Braithwaite? I remember when he went to Barcelona, you were like, how is this guy at Barcelona? Now I think he's retired and he's just like a business mogul, and he's now trying to buy Espanyol. It's kind of crazy. The team that actually kind of rejected him, disrespected him, now he's trying to buy them. It's crazy. Alright, then they've got Liam Delap, literally the most un-Barcelona signing you'll ever see. Very random. And they got Billy Gilmore as well for some reason. Okay, I see it now. Harry Kane's now at Barcelona. You know what? I think he would excel. He would actually suit a team like Barcelona so well, because his ball distribution is so good. His link-up play is so good. Oh my, they got an 87 rated Paul Pogba. Imagine if Paul Pogba was still playing today and he just didn't get that stupid drop ban. But you know what? When he comes back from that suspension, I actually think he'll shock us all. Mark my words, he'll shock us all. The guy is so talented. Alright, just check out Real Madrid. Alright, now you've got the new EAFC 25 icon, Gareth Bale. He hasn't retired in this save, and you can see he's a 77 rating. Maybe he should retire because his overall doesn't look good, but they butcher old players in this game. We've got new EAFC 25 Heroes player, Eden Hazard, 85 overall. To this day, I still can't believe he's only a hero. He should be an icon. Like, he was that phenomenal, especially when he was at Chelsea. Okay, so they've got an 85 James Maddison. Very interesting signing for Real Madrid, but he's just about good enough. They still have an 36-year-old Marcelo, arguably one of the greatest fullbacks, especially in the modern day era. One of the most technically gifted players you ever see, but 75 overall. He should have left ages ago. Of course, exactly like in real life, they got Luka Modric, but he's only 74 overall, given that he's 38 years old. But we're just shocked how his longevity is relentless, and he still doesn't look like because in real life I think he's like 87 overall in real life at this moment in time. So it's just a testament to how well he's able to keep playing at the highest level at his age. It's just commendable. But Roberto Firmino, he's still 87 overall at 32 years old, which is pretty respectable. Of course, they got Rodrigo, who's there. He's living up to his realistic potential in real life. crazy stats. They got Andy Robertson at 89 overall. And then they got former Barcelona centre-half Samuel Umtiti as an 86 overall. Alternative universe. I think, where is he even now? I'm not even sure. Somewhere in France right now. But now they've got Vinicius, 89 overall. I think he surpassed that in real life. He's now like a 91 overall winger. And he's probably going to end up winning the Ballon d'Or in real life. Let's be real. And so they've got prime Martin Odegaard as an 89 overall. Exactly spot on with where his overall is, because I think that's his overall now in EFC 25. And then they have 87 rated Donny van der Beek. What the hell happened to this guy's career, especially when he was at Ajax? He was the guy everyone was touted alongside with Frankie de Jong to be one of the best midfielders coming up. What has happened to this guy? All right, let's check out Atletico Madrid, their players. It's interesting. Now we've got a Jordi Alba, who's pretty much doing a Luis Suarez, and has opted for Atletico instead of Barcelona. Probably because they thought he was too old. Okay, look at this signing though. Ben Davies at Atletico Madrid. Could you think of a more random signing than that? But again, you did see Kieran Trippier come to Atletico Madrid, so you can never say never. They got the likes of Luis Diaz in the squad. I don't know why I really like that signing. Interesting. They've got Championship League One hero Ricky Jada Jones at Atletico Madrid. Can you think of a more crazy signing than this? I think he's one of the ones that have the highest potential, but still shouldn't be at a club like Atletico. It's crazy. They got the likes of Jorginho, they have Presnel Kimpembe as well, who I remember just was insanely overpowered in that FIFA 21. Like literally no one could get past him. And having an 88 overall Anthony Martial, he was still overpowered in the FIFAs around this time. And then they got an 86 overall Alain Saint-Maximin. He's one of the most skillful, exciting players that you would watch. Non-product though, but still such a fun player to use. And then they got Bukayo Saka as an 85 overall. So much competition on the flanks that they have. And then they got an ancient Luis Suarez that's still in the ranks. Been there for way too long. He's 77 overall. Should have gone to the MLS in this save, but opted to stay in the Atletico reserves. All right, let's check out France for a little bit. Okay, so they have the likes of Nico Barella, 87 overall. But then you can see they've got an 86 overall Alexander Isak. One of my favorite players in real life in the Premier League right now for Newcastle. He ain't going to be there for too long. Of course, they got 95 overall Kylian Mbappe. That's the potential. Usually the highest rated player in the game gets 95 overall. They got Alvaro Morata. And then Neymar opted to stay in PSG rather than get the Arab money, even though he's really getting Arab money still. But it's impressive that he's still able to retain his 91 overall rating at 32 years of age. They've got Tango Ndombele as 87 overall. Again, he's one of those what if kind of players, like extremely talented, but kind of threw his career away and never lived up to the hype. They've got Jordan Pickford, which is a bit of a random signing. And then they've got Nicolas Pepe, who was still highly rated back when he was at Arsenal. His career's kind of fallen, to be honest, since then. All right, last but not least, we go to the Serie A. All right, so let's look at Inter Milan. So they got the likes of Sebastian Haller. We got Pierre-Emerick Højbjerg. They got 91 overall Lautaro Martinez. And to be real, to be quite frank, he's been unbelievable during his time at Inter Milan. I would say he's one of the dark horse contenders for winning this year's Ballon d'Or. Now they've got new Arsenal signing Mikel Merino in their midfield, 86 overall. Also won the Euros for Spain. They got Thomas Schuchek as well, 86 overall. And they still got 35-year-old Alexis Sanchez, Arsenal legend, one of my favourite players growing up. And they got Wilfried Zaha, the guy that could have gone to Arsenal but opted to stay at Crystal Palace. All right, let's check out AC Milan. And they got former Bournemouth player, Steve Cook. Could I think of a more underwhelming, disappointing, random signing than this? All right, they still got a prime Gianluigi Donnarumma, 91 overall. In real life, still one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Now at PSG. But what signing this is, they got Angel Di Maria, who's still killing it at 36 years overall. When he's, I think in real life, he's at Benfica. 70 is a little bit harsh, but I guess he's 36 years of age. Oh wow, they got Paulinho, who I think is retired now in real life. I'm not entirely sure, but they got Paulinho. I'll never forget that season he had at Barcelona where he looked unreal, and then he just was normal after that. All right, let's check out Napoli. So they've got Jamaican Leon Bailey, 85 overall. They got former Manchester United legend Fred. Okay, this was a random one, I must say. Kyle Walker, 83 overall at Napoli. Guess he wanted something different for a change rather than playing in the rainy, droopy weather in Manchester. All right, let's check out Juventus. Okay, so they've got a prime Mason Greenwood. This was just before, I think this was the year where the allegations with his assault with his wife happened, and obviously before then he was just on the rise. So obviously he'll be at a club like Juventus instead of Marseille, but he's still gonna kill it. I think he's gonna revive his career given how things have gone. All right, they got Mateo Kovacic as well, top player, and Christopher Nkunku. Do you guys remember Sergio Romero, who at one point was literally like one of the best number 2 goalkeepers around? And now they've got almost a 40-year-old Cristiano Ronaldo, 82 overall. He's nowhere near as good as he actually is in real life. I think he's like a 86 overall in real life, playing in Saudi, of course. And also props to him for, as I'm recording this, he recently scored his 900th goal in his career. So it's crazy, man. Most people don't even get 900 appearances in their career, let alone 900 goals. So it's just a testament to the man. I'm more of a Messi man, but you got to give Cristiano his props. Yeah, so there you go. So this is a 2024 according to FIFA 21. What do you guys think of the kind of squads that have been assembled and the outcomes, and do you think they've done a good job at predicting where players will be at? And also, have you enjoyed watching this video? Let me know. Maybe you could try it for yourselves just for a little bit of fun before EFC 25 comes out. And also, if you've got more ideas that I could do for the foreseeable future just before EFC 25, feel free to put them in the comments. All right, guys, have a wonderful day, and I'm gonna see you guys relatively soon. All right, guys, peace.